Take a break from your busy schedule and join Harold Sala for Guidelines for Living.
Shortly before Boris Yeltsin came to the U.S. to ask for aid, he went to church. Politicians occasionally do that, you know, especially if the press is covering it. But Yeltsin later told the ITAR-Tass news agency, "I came here today to undergo cleansing." What struck me about Yeltsin's actions and his comments was the fact that he has been an avowed atheist. But deep down in his heart, is he really? One usually does not talk about chocolate cake without believing there's a cook in the kitchen. And you don't talk about God and cleansing unless you believe he exists. Speaking before a prayer breakfast, Ronald Reagan once said, "I have long been unable to understand the atheists in this world of so much beauty. And I've had an unholy desire to invite some atheists to a dinner and then serve the most fabulous gourmet dinner that has ever been concocted. And after dinner, ask them if they believe there was a cook." Some atheists attend church, though not many. But when you talk of cleansing, you speak of that which only God can do. Long before Yeltsin, Paul spoke of the cleansing which God's Holy Spirit can do in your life. He said, "Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the Word." It has been said there are no atheists in foxholes, and that may well be true. But I do know one thing for a fact. Quite often people say they believe or disbelieve something to be socially acceptable. But when the moment of truth comes and the stark reality of eternity confronts a person, that individual suddenly wants to know that God has forgiven him or her. When that happens, atheists get on praying terms with God. That need for cleansing and forgiveness is a universal one. No individual, no matter how good a father or how many civic causes he supports or how much good he does, is so perfect that at some time or another he does not need cleansing and forgiveness. True, we sin against each other and need to learn to seek forgiveness and extend it as well. But ultimately the issue is between the individual and his Maker. When David took Bathsheba as his wife, he began to compound the wrong which he initially did. Adultery eventually led to plotting the death of Bathsheba's husband. David sought what Yeltsin was searching for, cleansing and forgiveness. But he paid a high price for his failure. Psalm 51 in the Old Testament records the beautiful prayer of David, who cried out, "Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash away all my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin." Now David knew that he had sinned against Bathsheba in violating her when she was another man's wife. He also knew he had sinned against Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba, in ordering his death. But he also recognized his great wrong was against God, for he cried out, "Against you, God, you only have I sinned and done what is evil in your sight." No wonder David would plead, "Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow." There's good news, friend. What David sought is what God is still dispensing today in the 21st century. He's still in the business of washing away the filth and the offscouring of the world. To find cleansing and forgiveness, you need only ask for it. Ask for it, and you will receive it.
You've just heard Dr. Harold Sala with Guidelines for Living. If you'd like to listen to the program again, download a copy, subscribe to our devotional, or view other resources, visit guidelines.org. We would like to hear from you too. You can email us at info@guidelines.org. Thanks for listening, and we invite you to join us again for the next edition of Guidelines.